Have you ever paused mid-celebration and wondered if the greatest shooter in NBA history might suddenly hang up his sneakers? Could the echo of cheers at Chase Center one night give way to stunned silence the next? What if the man who redefined what a three-pointer could be decides his final chapter is closer than we dare imagine? Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report. Smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of the action. Rumors have begun swirling in hushed tones around the Bay, suggesting that Stephen Curry, our scoring king, our heart and soul, could be contemplating retirement sooner than any of us believe possible. It sounds preposterous. A four-time champion, two-time MVP, holder limitless records still chasing more gold, suddenly walking away from it all? Yet whispers grow louder by the hour, fueled by every visit Curry makes to the training room, and each time he talks about legacy rather than next season's goals. Earlier this week, a headline blazed across Heavy.com declaring that Curry is not even close to retirement, quoting league sources who insist his fire still burns bright. But why, then, are insiders hinting at a looming decision that could reshape everything we know about Golden State's next era? Last season, at age 36, Steph averaged 5 points per game on 47.8% shooting, while draining 42.1% of his threes, numbers that few players half his age could touch. He carried an offense that ranked top 5 in pace and top 3 in three-point attempts, yet every breakthrough seemed tinged with the shadow of wear on his body. Could the man who revolutionized the modern game finally be asking himself if the journey has reached its destined endpoint? Dig beneath the surface and you'll find more. Curry missed 9 games last year, his most prolonged absence since his rookie season, due to a nagging foot issue that flared up at the worst possible times. Though he returned to pour in 33 points against the Lakers in January, fans noted the extra hesitation on his first step, the ever-so-slight grimace when planning to launch a deep ball. Warriors training staff worked around the clock, but what happens when a body that has endured countless playoff battles starts to whisper enough? Some insiders believe he's reached the crossroads where the next decision could be either legacy or longevity. For the franchise, the stakes couldn't be higher. Imagine a Chase Center without Curry's pregame tunnel entrance, without that first floor-burning three to ignite the faithful. Already the roster is in transition. Klay Thompson carving a new role as veteran mentor, Draymond Green adapting to more minutes off the ball, Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga vying to fill ever-shifting guard rotations. If Curry were to step away, every minute he vacates ripples through those pecking orders. Could the Warriors lean into youth, accelerating draft prospects into rotation? Is it possible that the front office has been quietly stockpiling assets, anticipating a rebuild built around fresh legs rather than familiar faces? Across social feeds, Bay Area bars buzz with heated debate. One fan tweeted, "Losing Steph is like losing gravity itself. How do you play without gravity?" While another countered, "Better off bowing out at the peak than dragging on decline respect to a legend who knows when to go." Even former Warriors like Andre Iguodala have chimed in, hinting cryptically that every dynasty has its sunsets. In an Instagram story captioned with a golden-hued sunset over San Francisco. Could those words be more than poetic musings? Rival executives are watching closely. In Los Angeles, whispers around the Lakers' locker room speak of revived title hopes if Curry departs space-free to chase Anthony Davis, or perhaps the explosive win they've coveted for years. Out in Denver, Nuggets brass have reportedly penciled in scenarios where they match up against a Curry-less Dubs, believing their size and depth suddenly tip the conference balance. Fans in Oklahoma City are even drafting mock trades in forums, suggesting a jump-shooting guard and a first-round pick in exchange for Curry's expiring salary. Could this swirling trade talk be the smoke from a fire that's burning brighter than any retirement long-form? Yet through it all, the most powerful reactions often come from the court of public sentiment. GoFanatics.com ran a poll asking, should Steph retire on top or grind one more season? And responses poured in, nearly split down the middle. Some argue that after 4 championships and endless highlight reels, he's earned the right to exit on his terms. Others insist that the game isn't the same without him, that his very presence inspires teammates and elevates every performance. Fans are wondering if this crossroads is less about numbers and more about an emotional curtain call, where Curry chooses legacy over lust for another ring. History shows us that legends often sense their moment before anyone else does. Think back to Kobe Bryant's mural of farewell games, or Michael Jordan's tearful second retirement that caught the basketball world off guard. Curry has spoken in past interviews about living every problem to the fullest, savoring each practice, each triple-double Tuesday. Could it be that he's reached a point where he's carried every moment he needs, and now the only trophy left on his shelf is time with family away from the hoisting and hollering? But what do you think about all of this? Personally, as a Warriors supporter, I believe that regardless of the decision Steph makes, his impact will echo through these rafters forever, and if he chooses to retire at the summit, we'll celebrate not with tears of regret, but with cheers of gratitude for a career that raised the bar of possibility. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. Riding the wave with me? Smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you're first in line for every splashy update in blue and gold. The echo of that final 3 you imagined in Part 1 still reverberates in your mind, and now we stand on the brink of a seismic shift. If Steph Curry truly chooses retirement, what becomes of the very soul of this franchise? Picture Chase Center on opening night, the house lights dimming, and instead of Curry's signature tunnel entrance, a highlight reel of his greatest moments, a tribute that sends chills down your spine even as the reality sinks in. Could this be the catalyst for a full-blown rebuild, or, paradoxically, the spark that reignites a championship chase under a new banner of unity and youth? Let's dig deeper. With Curry's departure, the timing couldn't be more dramatic. Jordan Poole, who exploded for over 20 points per game in spurts last season and led the bench in scoring, suddenly finds himself thrust into the spotlight. His usage rate, hovering around 25% in relief roles, could skyrocket past 30%. Imagine Poole orchestrating the offense, his fearless floaters replacing Splash Brothers magic, his step-back trays echoing off the backboard as the crowd roars approval. Some insiders believe that Poole's growth curve aligns perfectly with Curry's swan song. Could he inherit the mantle seamlessly, or will the weight of expectation buckle his knees when the lights burn brightest? And what about Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody? These rising sophomores have already flashed all-defense potential and mid-range shooting that hints at stardom. Without Steph's gravitational pull-drawing defenders, defenses may collapse on Kuminga's 6'8" frame as he slashes to the rim, or on Moody's bounce and catch-and-shoot prowess. Could this be the moment the Dubs transform into a position-less powerhouse, driven less by one man's isolation brilliance and more by collective versatility? Some scouts suggest Golden State might lean into a small-ball all-star lineup featuring Poole at point, Kuminga at 2, Moody at 3, Green at 4, and a defensive specialist at 5. Perhaps Kevin Looney returns to anchor the paint. Is it possible that this shift could reinvent the Warriors' identity from a shooting juggernaut to an athletic swarm of switchable defenders and secondary scorers? Front office brainstorms reportedly stretch into the late hours at the practice facility. Executives have considered leveraging Curry's expiring contract, nearly $50 million, this season to chase a secondary star via trade. Imagine packaging draft picks and young talent for a proven two-way wing. Drew Holiday, Malcolm Brogdon, or even Donovan Mitchell, a fellow sharpshooter whose playoff exploits mirror Curry's competitive fire. Could Golden State dare to pursue a blockbuster that redefines the roster, or will they instead double down on stability, extending Poole and Green to maintain continuity? Some insiders believe that hanging on to the core Poole, Kuminga, Moody, and a healthy Draymond Green signals faith in internal development over splashy trades. Could this measured approach yield the next dynasty, without losing what made the Dubs legendary? Rival front offices are already salivating at the prospect of a Curry-less Warriors. In Los Angeles, Nico Heady execs see a window to reclaim Pacific Division supremacy, plotting to swoop in on free agents and target the Warriors' weakened perimeter. The Denver Nuggets, fresh off a title run, view this as an opportunity to solidify their own dynasty aspirations. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, and Michael Porter Jr. plotting playoff matchups against a team forced to rediscover its defensive grit. And in Phoenix, whispers circulate that Devin Booker could thrive without having to chase Curry's gravity on every possession, finding more space to flourish. Fans are wondering if this could be the turning point that flips conference power. Dynamics for years to come. Off court, the emotional roller coaster is undeniable. Social media polls show a wave of nostalgia as well as excitement. One viral tweet reads, "Curry retires, and we lose the heart of our city," while another counters, "Change is the ultimate challenge, bring it on, Dub Nation." Former teammates like Iguodala have posted throwback photos on Instagram, hinting that true Warriors adapt to every battle. And voices like Shams Charania and Adrian Wojnarowski feed the rumor mill with cryptic updates. Sources: Warriors. Evaluating multiple post-Curry scenarios, Golden State preparing for life beyond pure splash ball. Could these breadcrumbs foreshadow a blueprint that values adaptability over tradition? On the business side, Curry's retirement affects more than just the hardwood. Season ticket renewals are reportedly softening, but new interest surges for emerging stars jerseys, Poole, Kuminga, and even late-round draft finds. Merchandising strategists warn that the franchise must pivot marketing toward this new core, crafting storylines of resilience and passing the torch rather than dwelling solely on past glories. Is it possible that this commercial recalibration will define the Warriors brand for the next generation, forging a narrative of evolution rather than reliance on one icon? Playoff dreams hang in the balance. Without Curry's late-game wizardry, those unstoppable step-backs and pull-up bombs, the Dubs must retool their strategy. Will Steve Kerr lean into Draymond Green's playmaking, turning him into a quasi-point forward who directs offense with two stars gone? Or will they experiment with small ball units featuring more shooting specialists? Some insiders believe that by the time April rolls around, Golden State could surprise the league with a defense-first identity that catches opponents off guard, transition buckets over isolation plays, back-to-back runs engineered by Poole, and Moody rather than one man's miracle shot. Could this be the underdog story that whispers past the first round, fueled by collective heart over superstar heroics? Amid all this, the human element remains at the forefront. Curry's own voice, when he speaks of family time and unfinished business at home, hinted a man torn between love for the game and love for life beyond it. Will his final game be a farewell tour of gratitude, or will he simply slip away quietly, deciding that the echoes of MVP etched in record books suffice as legacy? Fans across the Bay are torn, some playing candlelight vigils at the mural on Broadway. Others prepare banners reading, "Thank you, Chef Curry." Could this emotional outpouring serve as the ultimate testament to what Curry meant to the organization and the city? But now I turn it back to you. With Curry's career hanging in the balance, roster futures on the line, and rival threats circling like sharks, what do you think comes next for the Warriors? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe that whether Steph walks away or laces up one more time, the spirit he instilled will carry this team forward, because in Golden State, the game is never about one man, but about the relentless pursuit of greatness. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.